LinkedIn is really the platform for business-to-business social business development. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about very, very briefly what LinkedIn is and what you can do with it. But then I'm going to talk about the fundamentals of social business development in terms of what you need to be doing with LinkedIn in order to benefit from it. And ultimately, as it is a two-way thing, how you can benefit other people as well. I want you to think about when, perhaps this evening, tonight, okay, we're at a kind of an educational networking type event, if you like, my first time at the CIM. But ultimately, you know, we have the opportunity to talk to each other, okay? We might be having a drink, we might be asking questions about the other person that we're standing next to, we're looking at them, we can see what they're wearing, we can perhaps smell what they smell like, we can hear how they speak. We form an opinion. And this is what I call the real world networking, face-to-face in the flesh. The mannerisms, the way people stand, their etiquette. It's really rude to suddenly, if you're bored, just walk away. Sorry, you know, I don't want to talk to you anymore because I'm not interested in the conversation. I don't think that we can do business together. You know, you can't do that. You've got to stand there, be polite, maybe spend a couple of minutes before the opportunity comes to move on and speak to someone else. Voice, I mentioned at all. Now, compare that with digital. Okay, for those of you who have kind of set up a profile on LinkedIn, you'll be familiar with what you can do. Yeah, you can put your photo there. You can write about your experience, the companies you've worked at before. Obviously, you put the connections in, your business associates who become your first degree connections. You can also get recommendations from people. Okay, so people can say why they recommend you because you've added value to them, you know, a few years ago when you were doing a project for them or whatever. You can also write about your interests and you can talk about your value proposition. Have a think about this, okay? If you're meeting someone for the first time, say we're meeting, we're having a conversation, what can I find out about you in 20 seconds, 30 seconds? Not a lot. If you look at someone's LinkedIn profile that is obviously well written in terms of they've put a lot of time into making it look good and have information such as this on there, you're actually able to learn a lot more about that individual. And potentially, you can argue that a digital encounter, okay, is a more powerful first step in a business development relationship opportunity. So imagine yourself looking at someone's LinkedIn profile. It might be a prospective customer that you want to do business with. It could be a potential partner, it could be a candidate that you're looking to recruit for your business. You can actually very quickly determine whether or not that particular individual can be of help, can be of assistance. Okay? So the digital encounter is becoming a more powerful first step in a relationship development process than a human interaction. What I want to do now is just talk about the three fundamentals of social business development. Okay? Now the first one is about creating engaging personal content. Now, you know, if you're looking at someone's LinkedIn profile summary and you read it and it's boring, it doesn't resonate with you, you know, it doesn't sort of, you don't feel actually that you know, it doesn't make any sense really to continue scrolling down their profile to see the experience sections and to maybe read their recommendations. What are you going to do? You're just going to click your mouse away, you're going to go back onto the other website that you were looking at before or read another email or whatever. So it's really, really, really important that you have, as an individual, trying to promote yourself, trying to promote your company, and be found by people to have, and for people to read your whole profile, to have engaging content. It's no good just having digital, engaging, personal content on your LinkedIn profile. You need people to take action. Now, what are you trying to do? I'm going to be talking about proactive networking in a minute, okay, and what that's all about. But ultimately, what LinkedIn, if you're in business development or marketing or sales, ultimately what you're trying to do is develop the business, okay? You're trying to get people to become customers. You're trying to recruit customers. I mean, LinkedIn started off, as you probably will be aware, as a sort of a goldmine for recruiters, okay? LinkedIn's revenue streams are all geared towards recruiters. It really took off in about 2008 when the recession was kicking in. and everyone was going, oh God, I'm going to lose my job. I need to be found by recruiters and headhunters. So, the kind of the onboarding of members of LinkedIn suddenly galloped up during that time. Now, however, with 100 million users, business developers are actually taking it really, really seriously as a way of actually being able to find people, okay, and be able to approach them and say, you know what, I can see that we're connected to Sandra Smith, and you're also interested in the UK marketing initiative. Why don't we, can you help me? Can you introduce me to somebody potentially who might, the reason I want to be introduced to someone is I've got something here that I think your organisation might be interested. Now, if you do that, and I'm now obviously talking about a message, okay, if you send a message like that, where, you're not selling, okay, if you're selling, people are just going to bin, okay, people are going to bin you immediately because people hate being sold to. Yeah, people want to build relationships. They want some sort of intellectual engagement. They don't want to just see, okay, you can add value and you can do discounts and things like that. They want to be able to engage with you. So engaging personal content, getting people to take action by, if you're imagining sending a message out on LinkedIn, getting people to actually click a link to look at your LinkedIn profile summary page, or even pages within your website, you're going to have the opportunity to then give them more in-depth information, perhaps videos on your website. So I'm going to move on to the second one now, which is proactive networking. Now I'm going to go back to that example which I gave at the beginning, which is imagine yourself in a networking event. Okay, the really good networkers are those who work the room. Okay, they say, right, I'm here for business. I want to have 10 conversations. I want to exchange 10 business cards. And out of that, I'm going to work out that I'm probably going to get maybe 3 follow-up meetings, of which 1 might turn into serious pipeline. Okay, this is business networking we're talking about. You get more reactive networkers who might be standing in the corner with their coffee and sipping, just waiting for people, okay, waiting for people to come and introduce themselves and say hello. That's not going to give you the results that you need in order to develop business, I mean, obviously. Now, it's exactly the same with LinkedIn. If you just have your profile page up like this, yeah, and you're not actually doing anything with it, then how many people are going to see your content? How many people are going to see what it is you're looking for and want to build a relationship or how you can help? The answer is going to be very, very few. So proactive networking, therefore, is something that you need to think about because you're probably not going to be found by people looking for you. And actually, a lot of the time, you've got to be proactive anyway because people that are looking to buy your services as a business aren't necessarily going to be searching for it because perhaps they don't know you exist. Perhaps you've actually got something unique that they're not aware of. So proactive is essential. Now I say, how do you do it? What's it all about? So LinkedIn have got various functions. Okay, one is groups, LinkedIn groups. Has any of you joined groups on LinkedIn? Yeah? Have you communicated with anyone through groups? Yes. Yeah? Was it, did you sort of develop any business from it or not? You have, excellent. LinkedIn, if you take away anything from this presentation, join 50 groups. You're allowed 50. And the reason you want to join these groups is because you're able to, it gives you reach. You're able to communicate, engage with other LinkedIn members. Okay, so if your business is selling, let's say, internet marketing services and you're specializing in the automotive sector, okay, you can go on to LinkedIn, join all the automotive groups, okay, and then search, okay, for marketing directors who are in the automotive industry. And believe it or not, you can probably find about 1,000 of them. Okay? And you can think about this analogy and put it into all of you sitting in this room who are into business to business. You can use this analogy for yourselves, and I'd like to place a bet with you, a sportsman's bet, that you will be able to find. If you join all 50 groups related to the industry that you're selling into, okay, possibly some of the groups as well that are relating to the individuals who you want to talk to, who you want to network with, ultimately perhaps who you want to sell to. Okay, so for example, if it's marketing directors, you join all the marketing groups. Okay. By joining groups on LinkedIn, you're able to search for them and you're able to approach them. Now, okay, so how do you approach them? You need to be clever about it. It's psychology. You need to be very, very careful that when you approach them, they don't get bored and they go, bin. I mean, how many emails and messages are we binning every day? Probably in some cases more than we're actually reading, if we're honest. Certainly probably more than we're actually responding to. So the message that you send out has to be really, really, really engaging, and in the context of LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is a networking platform. It's not a sales platform. So when you're sending a message to someone, you have to ask for a, begins with an R, referral. Okay, it's about referrals. Networking is about seeking referrals. And believe it or not, okay, if people don't know you, it doesn't matter. Why? Why doesn't it matter? Because they can look at your LinkedIn profile. They can look at your LinkedIn profile and you know what, actually, you've asked for an introduction to someone who I know. I don't know you before, but actually looking at your profile, I can see that you used to work for this company, and actually I used to work for that company. It was 10 years ago now. Do you see what I mean? Or they read your interests section and they see that actually you're a windsurfer. And they're like, well, I'm a windsurfer. Windsurfers United sort of thing. And you're building, because you've got engaging content on your LinkedIn profile, the person that receives that message, okay, the message that you sent asking for a referral to someone within their organization, they are happy to refer you to that individual because of the content that they've seen on your LinkedIn profile. And also because what you can do with your LinkedIn connections is you can use them as familiarity. Okay, so if you're approaching someone and they are connected to someone who you are connected to, you can actually mention in your message, I see we're both connected to Kirsty Smith. In the spirit of LinkedIn networking, would it be possible for you to introduce me to your business development director? So think about it. It's not actually that difficult. You just need to think about the context of LinkedIn, how a social network, a business social network, how you can use a business social network, and then use it, guys, okay? Standing there like the guy in the corner with his coffee, you're not going to develop any business by being reactive. Now, good. Okay, so let's imagine a scenario where you've got engaging content, you're being proactive, okay, you're going out there, people are actually engaging with you, and they're saying, you know what, yeah, speak to so-and-so. Speak to so-and-so, they're on LinkedIn, or this could be something of interest. Now, the third fundamental in order to make this a return on investment, which is the reason Lee's very kindly asked me to come in and talk to you this evening, you've got to actually get on the phone and call up the prospects. You've got to get on the phone and call up the referrals, okay? And so many senior people in business, when we engage in new business opportunities and they're really excited, oh wow, LinkedIn networking, we really want to get involved, we love it, we've done our research, this is what we want to do, it's all good. And we get to the point, so, do you have an internal telesales person? No. But Tim, we can do it, I can do it. No, you can't. You're really busy. You're a senior professional in your business. You're not going to get on the phone and make 200 phone calls, okay? You're just not going to do it. So the third fundamental of social business development is rigorous prospect and referral follow-ups. And there's probably a whole load of stuff going through your head. Okay, Tim, so we're getting messages coming back on LinkedIn. People are interested in developing a relationship, or people are interested through referrals. But all this information is in LinkedIn. LinkedIn has got its own CRM system. Profile Organizer, very quickly, is LinkedIn's CRM for premium users. Okay. You're able to, any message that you send to somebody, okay, you can store that as a note against the profile. Any message you receive back from someone, you can also store that as a note against their profile. And you can create folders, message people that you've sent messages to, people you've received messages from, people that have introduced you to others. You're able to build up a lot of, you're able to organize your data effectively.